गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय निताई चैतन्य, जय निताई चैतन्य, निताई चैतन्य जय निताई चैतन्य। जय लक्ष्मी नृसिंहा, जय अनंत देव प्रहलाद महाराज, जय प्रहलाद महाराज। जय गौरांगी बेंगलोरेश्वर, गौरांगी बेंगलोरेश्वर, गौरांगी बेंगलोरेश्वर गौरांगी। जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव, सुभद्रा माई जय, जय सुदर्शन। जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद, जय जय प्रभुपाद। जय जय गुरुदेव गुरुदेव गुरुदेव, जय जय गुरुदेव। निताई गौर हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, निताई गौर हरि बोल। ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजक आचार्य अष्टोत्तर सत हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरण अरविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहिए जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपिका श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिराज गोवर्धन जी महाराज की जय। ब्रजभूमि वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। श्री क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। साकेत अयोध्यापुरी धाम की जय। गंगा मैया की जय, जमुना माई की जय, तुलसी महारानी की जय, समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं दैवीं सरस्वती व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नष्टकी। Can you please share the screen so that we can pull up the verse which is there? Thank you. देहेन जीवभूतेन लोकालोकमनोव्रजम् भुञ्जान एव कर्माणि करोत्यविरतं पुमान्। देहेन जीवभूतेन लोकम् अनुव्रजन् भुञ्जान एव कर्माणि करोति अविरतं पुमान् देहेन जीवभूतेन लोकालोकमनुव्रजन् भुञ्जान एव कर्माणि करोत्य अविरतं पुमान्. Let's look at the word by word translation, please. Thank you. Dehan, on account of the body, Jiva Bhutena, possessed by the living entity, Lokat, so sorry, another planet, Anuvrjan, wandering, Bhunjanaha, enjoying, Ev, so, Karmani, fruitive activities, Karanti, he does, Aviratam, incessantly, Puman, the living entity. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charanaravind, Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Due to his particular type of body, the materialistic living entity wanders from one planet to another, following fruitive activities. In this way, he involves himself in fruitive activities and enjoys the result incessantly. Okay. Give me 1 second, please. When the living entity is encaged in the material body, he is called Jiva Bhuta. And when he is free from the material body, he is called Brahma Bhuta. By changing his material body birth after birth, he travels not only in the different species of life, but also from one planet to another. Lord Chaitanya says that the living entities bound up by fruitive activities are wandering in this way throughout the whole universe. And if by some chance or by pious activities they get in touch with a bona fide spiritual master, by the grace of Krishna, then they get the seed of devotional service. After getting this seed, if one sows it within his heart and pours water on it by hearing and chanting, the seed grows into a big plant, and there are fruits and flowers which the living entity can enjoy even in this material world. That is called the Brahma Bhuta stage. In his designated condition, a living entity is called materialistic, and upon being freed from all designations, when he is fully Krishna conscious, engaged in devotional service, he is called liberated. Unless one gets the opportunity to associate with the bona fide spiritual master by the grace of the Lord, there is no possibility of one's liberation from the cycle of birth and death in the different species of life and through the different grades of planets. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्दे अहं श्रीगुरून् श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपदान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तु ते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Lord Kapiladev is instructing his mother Devahuti in the previous verses. I'm sorry. In the previous verses, very dangerous. I mean, actually, the statements aren't dangerous, but it's very dangerous state of affairs which have been described, which a living entity has to go through. And one amazing remark came. I'll first touch base with that in the previous, if you go back to, verse number 39, 40, or even previous verses before that, you would see that at one place, the Lord talks about the woman. And here, the traditional thinking that the spiritual path is, only for males, or it's a male bastion, or it's a prerogative of males only, but that's not the case. And how recurringly the male devotee is instructed that he should stay away from a female associate, or he should associate less and less, or perhaps if not necessary, then not at all. And she has been described as the representation of Maya. She has been described as, the illusory energy and gateway to hell. And of course, it is not the woman, it is the thinking of the male about the female. That's what is being discussed. But the amazing aspect is not this. The amazing aspect is that one place, Lord Kapiladev says, it is just not restricted to the males. The woman must know that the house, the various things inside the house, and the children, these three entrap her. And she should know that they are the cause of her death. And it furthers, the verse, the meaning further goes on to elaborate that the way a bird sings, a cuckoo bird sings and gives invitation to a hunter so that he can kill. Similarly, by getting trapped into this illusory energy, a woman, because for a man, a woman is sufficient for fall down. For a woman, a house is sufficient for a fall down, or expensive jewelry, or any other commodity is sufficient for a fall down. The objects, excuse me, the object that allures us and shifts the gaze of our consciousness becomes the cause of our fall down. So, any devotee who is in a female body, she should make note of it, that of course children deserve love. Of course they do. But it is they who deserve love. They must be given the warmth of the heart. They must feel emotionally also safe with you. So, all of that is a part of the duty. But if there is complete forgetfulness, and gradually the mother becomes emotionally dependent upon the children, very standard pattern, the child goes to the college and the mother feels extreme separation. And here the term extreme separation is in terms of emotional dependence upon the children. After pouring her heart out, if the reciprocation does not take place, then she curses. If it takes place, her bondage further thickens. So, what to do? And therefore, Lord Kapiladev so candidly stated here that these are the cause of her death. Now, coming to what has been conveyed today, one thing you can, see that how Srimad Bhagavatam elaborates the philosophy given in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So, this wandering of the living entity, depending on the previous fruitive activities, the reactions of that, has been described in chapter 15 of Bhagavad Gita. But here it receives elaboration that, okay, this is how it is happening. So, how does a living entity, the term here, the term which has been used here is aviratam, incessantly he enjoys. I would request the respective audience that it is not to be understood in terms of normative statements. Normative statements mean, oh, one should be like this, one should not be like that, one should do this, one should not do that. Not like this. The way to understand Srimad Bhagavatam is first factually how it is. You get to know how factually the state of affairs is. So here, the fact being described is aviratam. He is incessantly enjoying. What does that mean? This is the aspect that I wanted to highlight in this session or in this class. Aviratam means that the gaze of the consciousness has been fixated or has gotten fixated at something which is unreal. Now you may enjoy terrible tragedies as well. Yes, that's truth. People enjoy pain also. They do. And they get that kind of pain that they aspire for. May I die saving you. Okay. Then I'm drowning in the river and you jump to save me, and in the process you pass away. But when you asked, you did not know what you were asking for. When you got it, you didn't have the chance to renegotiate. The deal is sealed. You wanted to enjoy the feeling of dying for someone, and the process became horrible. But everyone is incessantly, no, 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 not this kind of a life form. I wish I could get that sort of a life form. Oh, what lowly life we live. Ambanis live the life. They know the life. They have the life. What do we have? We are just mosquitoes. All right. Now, whenever some karmic quota will, you know, pile up in terms of piety, then all of that karmic quota will get into that direction that you had a desire to enjoy like Ambanis. And you will start getting that. But the dangerous thing is still it continues to be aviratam. It does not end. Not knowing what to ask, what to select, we select painful things. And then still not knowing, we select all the more abominable things. When you get tired of good conduct, you say, forget it, man, let me relax, let me enjoy. constantly shifting. And look at this system, internal system, how it responds. Very, very clear equation. The first variable is your choice. The second variable is process. That if you do this, if you make this choice, this is the result. And it's proportional. You exercise your choice in this much proportion, you get the fruitive result in this much proportion. Period. So what's the way out? The way out is when you stop assuming yourself to be that you are not, then there is a way out. So the five types of nescience, ajnana vrittis, which Lord Brahma covered us with, one must know those five vrittis. And one of first is tama, unknown, darkness. What darkness? I don't know who I am. That's a darkness. The second comes to the stage of moha. So what is that moha? Moha is that I misunderstand myself. I take myself to be that what I am not. That's moha. First is I don't even know who I am. That's tama. But moha is I mistake myself to be someone else. Best example is when you watch a movie and you connect yourself with the hero. Now, naturally, you are different from the hero, but till the time movie doesn't get over, you kind of, you just get transported into hero's identity and you start behaving like that. So that's moha. On top of that is that whatever now you are collecting as part of a mistaken identity, that I am not X, but I think I am X, and therefore X has father, mother, brother, daughter, husband, wife, whatever. So one is illusion, then you are furthering the illusion. That's Mahamoha. And here, what is being discussed is when I'm so sorry, I'm recurringly using this term, but this term, in one sense, describes the how it impels us to continue doing that same thing. Mistaken identity being furthered. No idea of originally who I am. And the thing is so joyful that I don't even want to look at who I am originally, who I am really. I don't want to. Where is the next enjoyment right now? Let me know, please. I want to enjoy that. And it may be in any sense. If it is not good food, let it be good sight. I want to see naked pictures. Let me just go and do that. Okay, that's also not available. All right, then let me hear some voices. All right, that's also not available. All right, then I want to have soft touch. Okay, even that is not available. No, then let me be surrounded by my family people. People who I know who like me. Looking at them, touching them, talking to them is a great pleasure. But don't stop my non-stop pleasure, aviratam. And don't remind me that, I'm not this. So now you enter into Srila Prabhupada's purport, where he categorically, or not categorically, where he technically defines that who is Jiva Bhuta and who is Brahma Bhuta. So Jiva Bhuta means us, the conditioned living entities, and Brahma Bhuta is the liberated living entities. And therefore here, Dehinam. So if somebody says, I'm not this body, I'm soul. No, currently you are embodied soul. Dehinam. That's the term Dehinam. Jiva Bhutena. As long as you will have a materialistic thinking, you will have a material body. And materialistic thinking means thinking focused on material matter, thinking focused on the temporary is matter. Spirit is not temporary. And guess what? What is the biggest ignorance? I'll try to elaborate on it, but I'm not sure if I will be able to convey it. The continuous gaze at the temporary and the desire to enjoy the temporary is so thick and is so humongous that if someone tries to remind us of our original identity and our brain captures it, even then we don't want to think through. Yes, that's called intellectual lethargy. It's a very subtle form of lethargy. Intellectual lethargy means I can be active in my this life, but if you want me to be intellectually active means that then I will clearly know what I am, and that's no fun. That's boring. If I am not enjoying and somebody else is enjoying through me, that's unimaginable to me. So no one should be able to enjoy through me. I should be able to enjoy through everyone else. So the concept of service and all the divine qualities, that is, even if it is even if it gets decoded at the level of intellect, the karmic quota does not let you imbibe or internalize it as a matter of truth. The karmic quota will block you. So, say for example, you want to go to a pilgrim site and you have, say, 10% Shraddha, and the deserving candidate should have, say, 15% Shraddha. Then you will make up your mind to go there. You will book tickets also. But towards the nth hour, something would happen and you will give up the idea of traveling, because the karmic quota is keeping you away. And how is it working? It is working in the sense that your sequencing of desire and intensity of desire, there is a mismatch. 38 births back, you had desired X thing with so much intensity. Now the turn has come when that is going to get materialized. Parallelly, you have developed intense desire to serve Krishna. However, the intensity of service to Krishna is still lesser than that desire. And therefore, she will come first. And you will have to live that. A yogi who can sit back and see, just witness, he will also get the reaction. He will also get an accident, or he will become very rich, he will get infamy, he will become very famous. All these things will not stop for him. But he has become anya manaska, aloof, on the strength of the spiritual knowledge. And therefore he remains unmoved, because he is situated in his own glory. When he wakes up, he is also equally unsure how the day would unfold. Please understand. The only thing is, his glass is great. The glasses with which he is looking at the world is Krishna conscious. So he puts on that Bhagavatam glass. via Bhagavatam class. And then he goes out and looks at the world. As long as he doesn't take off those glasses, he's perfect. When he takes off those glasses, then he immediately is. Because if something is not able to affect you, you are cool, you are home. If something is so, anything can bother us. Winters can bother us. Summers, swelty summers can bother us all the more. Somebody's death can bother us. But Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, even at the time of pralaya, devastation, such a devotee of mine is never disturbed. It's very difficult. This is Sankhya Yoga being taught by none other than Lord Kapila Dev. And I just attempted to give who's attending here a glimpse of what does that mean. I would also like to, share with you that how there are three stages in which we exist. So there's a stage where we have divine qualities, and that is a stage for liberated beings. Then there is a stage in which we have the qualities born out of the three modes. So even if it is mode of goodness, it is tinged with mode of passion or mode of ignorance. And similarly, mode of ignorance or passion or goodness in varying quantity, but you can't have 100% genuine divine thought because it's not there inside you. And that's where my amazement knows no boundary, because one who chants the holy names, in his heart, in due course of time, these amazingly wonderful qualities pop up. Remember, we are performing a self-centered yajna all the time. We are swa-bhavana bhavit all the time, incessantly. Just satisfy me, satisfy me, satisfy me. Swaha, swaha, swaha. It's a self-centered sacrifice. So it's not a sacrifice in that strict word sense of the word. Aviratam, non-stop we are doing. That's a term again I'm referring to, which has been used in this verse. He's wandering and incessantly enjoying. So Prabhupada then discussed the Brahma Bhoot and the Jiva Bhoot. So who is Jiva Bhoot here? One who has thoughts which are born out of the three modes. Who is Brahma Bhoot? One who has thoughts which are born out of Brahman platform. And therefore compassion, magnanimity, generosity, sympathy, all of those qualities, service, those are all divine qualities. And those sadhus who can see through, they only select these thoughts. Even in their hearts, the other thoughts pop up. But their intellect is sharpened by Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya. So they cherry pick the thoughts. They don't select the other thoughts. And this way, by constant exercise, there are times when they fall down. Then they repent and try again. And even when I'm describing it to you, I'm just saying how happy Krishna would be when he sees his little children, struggling, positively struggling to become better. His chest swells up with pride when he sees his sadhak, getting better with each passing day. The sadhak is repenting and morose and constantly thinking, I'm useless. Krishna is, he's so factual and realistic. He doesn't look at the sadhak like that. Krishna looks at, oh, he was here, he is now here. So much improvement. And the Lord feels happy, very happy about the progress of the devotee. Because Bhoktaram Yagya Tapsam, the Lord enjoys our tapasya not in the sense that you suffer, I enjoy. No, because He knows if we perform and take up this process, then we will be happier than Him one day. He wants us to be more happy than He Himself is. That's what divinity is all about. It is so phenomenally detached from self centeredness and so much attached to the welfare of the others. That's why Titikshva, Karunika, Suhrad, Sarvadehinam, everybody is well wisher. But Titikshva, he suffers and tolerates the suffering, not the bodily sufferings. He tolerates the suffering for the sake of preaching the mission of the Lord. That's the Titikshva being mentioned here. The same Bhagavatam describes the greatest worship of the Lord is to suffer for the welfare of others. And welfare means to raise the consciousness of other people. That's welfare. There can be a welfare in terms of feeding the hungry, giving education to the underprivileged. All those are also there. But the biggest welfare, Savai Pumsam Parodharma Yatha Bhaktir Adhokshaje. The supreme occupation of a living entity is service to Lord Vishnu. And as the 10th canto says, those bhuvigranantiye bhurida jana, those magnanimous souls who go from door to door and preach. That's Titikshva being mentioned here. And so that's a divine quality. Karunika, continuously they feel compassionate. So coming back to the purport where Prabhupada mentioned the difference between Jiva Bhoot and Brahma Bhoot, I just highlighted some of the divine aspects of Brahma Bhoot. And I also gave examples of the Jiva Bhoot state of affairs. Then the second aspect where Srila Prabhupada lays emphasis upon is if by the mercy of Krishna he gets the mercy of the spiritual master. Prabhupada is so convinced and pakka that he mentions the process again and again and again. Process is Guru Krishna Kripa Pai Bhaktilata Bij. He's just repeating it in English, that's all. This verse by Lord Kapil Dev is Brahmand Brahmite Konu. He just said Brahmand Brahmite. This is an elaboration of Brahmand Brahmite. That the living entity, depending on his fruitive quota, wanders from one life form to another life form, period. Prabhupada extends it. He says Brahma Bhoot is not there, Jeev Bhoot is there. But if the Jeev Bhoot gets the mercy of Krishna and the spiritual master, then he becomes Brahma Bhoot. So the rest of the class, I would like to, we have 15 more minutes. I would like to dedicate it to this aspect. First, we understood, we diagnosed the problem, that what is the issue. So the issue was that aviratam is the issue. I want non-stop enjoyment. On top of it, this enjoyment is for the temporary identity, which is becoming the root cause of suffering in future. And death is being described, if you can refer to in the previous verses, death is being described as just that this quota is over. Now get ready to take the reaction of the next quota. Here I'll just take a small detour and share with you that, yesterday we heard about the passing away of our very dear Shachidulal Prabhu. And I wish to share here that we devotees do not know. When Srila Prabhupada says that where you were supposed to get hit by an arrow, the Lord lets you go merely by pricking a needle. So much of karmic quota is absorbed by Krishna for the sake of his devotee. And he's a mixed devotee, or what a mix, Kanishta platform, or even aspiring Kanishta for that matter. And the Lord himself confirms, Meheto Bhayat. Swalpam api yasya dharmasya trayate meheto bhayat. Little endeavor in this on this path saves one from the great danger. So I was just seeing that when a devotee leaves body, the the part which Krishna does not reveal is the part that how many lifetimes of sinful reactions I took care of. He does not reveal, but the devotee should be assured. Therefore, for the devotees who are just sincere, they may not be even effective. They just have a sincere desire. That's all we can have. That I am useless, but I have conviction that the process is there and the process works. In my execution, there may be fatal flaws. Even then, Lord Nityananda, his mercy is unimaginable. If his mercy can make Yamaraj faint, who are we to even begin to who are we to even understand or grasp? Where does it start? Some of you thought, oh, it's a matter of exaggeration that Yamaraj fainted. Some of us laugh at that. If you just pause and understand what does that mean? He fainted out of ecstasy. That my goodness, down there, those horrible creatures who never got delivered in Satyug, Dwapar, Treta, Dwapar, these backbenchers. And they did activities which are most abominable, and I was making arrangement for them for suffering for millions of years. And here is Gornitai, who are just distributing. He couldn't contain his happiness. He fainted in ecstasy. His intellectual capability to comprehend the mercy of Lord Nityananda, it, it gave up, though he is a Mahajan. That's why Nityanand Prabhu crashes the pride of Kali. He just crushes it. So powerful is his mercy. Yogyata na vichari. Doesn't consider qualification. Sab avatar saras shiromani. Keval anand kand. Enjoy. It's very easy for a spiritual practitioner to understand Krishna. Krishna is Durgam, that is separate. Huh? I'm not saying to get Krishna. At least intellectually you understand, because Krishna is very categorical in Bhagavad Gita. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam satya bhajami. Okay. The proportion to which you surrender, the same proportion I accept and I reciprocate. Sarva dharman, sarva papebhyam. If you give up everything, I will also take away all your sinful reaction. Very proportional. But to understand Lord Chaitanya is impossible. I mean, one day it struck to me that when the Lord does mercy and forgives my offenses every day after day after day, I appreciate Him. That thank you very much. I'm useless. You are merciful. But I forget that the same Lord is equally merciful to my other people as well. My other people in sense, other living entities also. And then when I demand, no, but he was wrong, you did not punish him. Therefore, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj makes a statement, and a very, very powerful statement. He says, forgive. Forgive so that Lord can forgive you. We expect that Krishna forgives us. So there we call for sympathy and compassion. But when it comes to others, we exert our idea of justice. How fair is that? Now, with this angle of vision, If you look at all our current acharya, then you would know why do they take so much of nonsense from so many people and still they do not reject them. The principle is same. They didn't reject us, so therefore they are not rejecting them as well. But it doesn't strike to us. As usual, self-centered and completely self-obsessed. So Prabhupada's emphasis is, okay, you are Jeev Bhoot, you are wandering here, basis your karmic quota, fine, I'm not going to describe it. But if Krishna is little pleased with you, then he will send a spiritual master. And that spiritual master, now this also works on multiple layers. Way far away from the realm of superstitions, far away. Krishna is so sold on to the idea of accepting and initiating spiritual master. One, of course, in the 4th chapter, he says, Tadvidi pranipaten pariprashnen. He mentions that. Okay, fine. But more than that, when you take initiation, it is said that, the Lord, the moment one takes initiation, considers him liberated. Oh, he is liberated. Though the person is bounded right now. It's like taking an admission in an MBBS college. You are not a doctor in the first year. But the world has accepted you as a doctor because the world is convinced about the process. They know now you're going to be an MBBS. Krishna stamps you as liberated and accepted the moment you take shelter of a spiritual master. What else can be said about the glory of taking initiation? We ourselves do not know how great it is, and what we ourselves, we do not know. I mean, 1/1 zillionth of it. It is so great. Just the taking a spiritual master, taking shelter of a spiritual master. So it may not work at an intellectual level for many people. It does not work. You do not know that your little tiny efforts cannot please the Lord. It is always via medium. Krishna is agochar. Vani agochar, Nayan agochar, Man agochar, Buddhi agochar. He's beyond, 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 beyond. He's transcendental. Transcendence and therefore transcendental. Such a Lord, how will you ever access it living in this material world? You can't access Him. Therefore, the via medium is needed to access Him. And your intellect might not be able to decode it. It's perfectly all right. Stay surrendered to the Guru. And you will see the magic unfolding. So therefore, Prabhupada emphasized, the verse talks about the description of the wandering living entity, describing particularly the word aviratam, that he wants to incessantly enjoy, therefore he is incessantly creating fruitive activities and subsequent reactions. And the whole thing goes on and on and on. Samsar. It's a total essence that it's a circle of life and death. Keep moving. But the Guru can reclaim you. And that's how it should be. So, since there are only 5 minutes left, in case if someone has a question, in a summary form, I would just say that Lord Kapiladev is highlighting the aspect of aviratam, and that should remain the point of meditation till tomorrow's Bhagavatam class. That I am so obsessed with myself that even a mistaken identity that I have, I am nourishing that false identity continuously so that somehow or other I can enjoy. And then you don't have to step back and do what Buddhists do. Then you have to take deeper shelter of Guru, the names Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. Serve Vaishnavas, serve Guru, and serve Srimad Bhagavatam. And by that, as Prabhupada is mentioning, okay, no problem, from Jeev Bhoot to Brahma Bhoot via spiritual master. That's what the purport of this verse is, and that's what Srila Prabhupada is mentioning. If there's any question, I can take up, else we can now wrap it up. Okay, so it's no question. Shri Krishna Chandra Bhagavan ki jai, Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Guru Maharaj ki jai, Nitai Gaur Satinath Prema. Hari Hari.
Thank you, dear devotee.